Hello, freedom fighters. My name is Steve Dupos. I am here today to probably put out my last video. I address this to freedom fighters or those who stand for a cause and believe that the Constitution of the United States and your state constitution will be relied on by courts. I'm here to tell you in the state of Texas and Angelina County and abroad in Southeast Texas, this is untrue. You're going to get in trouble. I applaud those YouTubers, Black Lab 3, Stand Your Ground, Mexican Padilla, all these individuals who are actually on Cop Watch. There are more, but these are the ones that I actually follow. I would like to issue a warning to you, because if it happened to me, it can happen to you. I am forced now by the court system to make a deal with the court system because simple fact is my constitutional rights failed me. They were failed to be recognized by the court. They were failed to be properly presented to the judge. And basically the individuals that are involved said no, it does not matter about these rights. They will not be heard. The cases that I'm talking about are pretty cut and dry. They're not that serious, but however, the fact is that let me give you my perspective and let me tell you what you need to be concerned with. I thought that the Constitution of the United States, Amendment 1, allowed me freedom of speech. That I could freely express myself, and I could utilize this freedom of speech in all endeavors in my life. No matter what the crowd, no matter who took offense to it, that I was protected by my First Amendment rights. I stand before you to tell you that that is incorrect. By interrupting a meeting, so I was charged because I actually stated to the mayor, you can't do that, it's against the law. This was a referral to an actual law or ordinance they were going to put into place. It stated little girls cannot play softball on Sundays. It's bad for our appearance, and they should be in church. Immediately after hearing this and realizing they were going to vote on it, I said, sir, you can't do that, it's against the law. I interrupted the meeting, so to speak. I wasn't even in the room. I got my stuff and I left. I wasn't even warned. I excused myself. I walked into the next room, and when I was confronted by an officer who detained me for vulgarity. Even though vulgarity is not against the law, it's protected by my First Amendment right to freely express myself. I only did it as a mumble. Nobody else heard me, but anyway, I got detained. I was detained until the officer could call back into his supervisors and ask, why? What can I charge him with? Obviously, this is acting under the color of law, but I'll let you make the decision because the ones that I'm pointing it out to actually know the law better than I do. I watched your videos. I went to jail that night. I sat for hours waiting for them to make up what they could charge me with. Come out to be misdemeanor. They moved up to Class A for interrupting a meeting. Not only this is that I was failed because the fact is that they failed to recognize my First Amendment right to actually speak. I was actually stating and witnessing and putting it on the record that it was a felony, what they were doing. I actually believed in the policy. If you see something, say something. I was acting upon that. Apparently, that's not the case. apparently you have to wait till the law is actually passed, and you have to file a complaint then. So in other words, when somebody's shot, do I have to wait a couple of days to file a complaint? Mind you, all these city council members were on board. All these city council members are guilty, but they're exempt from the law. Being exempt from the law, being held elite, there's a privilege that goes on here, that there's two different set of laws. My First Amendment rights were never even mentioned in my trial. They were never even considered. My rights were never ever considered. Moving on to that, with the first case, that's the first case that I will say to you. This is when my First Amendment rights went out the window in a county courthouse in Angelina, Texas. Second case. 4.5 years ago, I made a mistake. I called the suicide hotline, the VA suicide hotline. I suffer from chronic PTSD. I'm 125%, if you get that, disabled. I was having a hard time. I had just transferred down here, and I was having a hard time. One evening, I was instructed by the VA, if you're going through this, please call and we'll get help to you. They told me over the phone, told my wife that they were going to be sending an ambulance so they could monitor me from here in the hospital. This is not what happened. What happened was that a group of officers came to my house, and my wife was outside waiting for the ambulance. They asked if they could come in and talk to me. She said yes. I was greeted by a group of officers with a flashlight in my eyes to blind me. I was actually pulled, and I was actually taken to the ground. I was tasered 5 times. In the report it says multiple times. I know because I counted 5. After 5 times of being tasered, do you believe that maybe I was incapable of actually resisting arrest? Especially in the state of mind that I was in at that point in time, after being tased 5 times. This wasn't enough. One officer actually had the nerve to go ahead and put me in a chokehold till I passed out. He said this was necessary because the fact is that I was still resisting arrest, or I was trying to resist arrest after being tased. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, if you're tased 5 times, it's going to piss you off, especially when you don't know who's doing it. The officers never identified themselves. They never asked me what was going on. All they did was immediately come in and pull me from the chair and commit these acts. I didn't even know who the hell it was until I woke up later and I was in handcuffs. There goes my Fourth Amendment right out the window as well. Apparently, in Angelina County, that our 4th article of the Constitution, they don't have to follow that. They can come in and arrest you for resisting arrest on it. You're not even being arrested. I wasn't doing anything wrong. I wasn't charged with a crime. I just called for help. They got me down for resisting arrest. Now this violates not only my 4th Amendment, but also my 14th, my 5th. I don't know how many, but it doesn't make any difference. They don't use that down here. They don't use the United States Constitution, and they don't use the Texas Constitution. And the Texas constitutional statutes that they use, that every county's got its own interpretation of it. They do not pay attention to Article Section 1202 in the Texas Penal Code that says if any misdemeanor that you have committed, it has to be brought to trial in 2 years. The time clock starts from the day you committed it to the time that they try to start. It's got to be within 2 years. I'm sorry, this is going on 4 years and the court allows this. They paid no attention to the article. When asked, the judge says, I'm not familiar with that article. It's not any that I'm aware of. He didn't even bother to look it up. When I go to my attorney, which I was ordered to get by the court judge, said I couldn't represent myself, or he wouldn't hear the case. So I left it at that. I wouldn't hear the case. However, they kept on. I had to go, got docket call, and they wouldn't proceed until I actually got an attorney, which I did. My rights have been broken in so damn many ways, based on what I've learned here from you individuals, of what can and can't be done when addressed by a police officer. It was noted when I was taken to jail that there were multiple taser wounds on my body. My left cheek was bruised all the way down my neck. But they said the chokehold was legal, even though it's banned in all enforcement officers from teaching to all enforcement officers. The individual chokehold itself causes death. We actually go back to the definition of deadly force. When is deadly force authorized? Well, whenever he feels a threat. I was sitting in a chair. What threat with 125%? What threat could I impose on 4 officers? What threat could I impose after being tased 5 times? I didn't know where in the hell I was, until quickly I realized I couldn't breathe. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll state to you that if you knew the details of this case, and I'm not going to go on about it because nobody listens to the videos, but I wish you would. I say this and I tell you what happened to me to save you some space, and be aware that your constitutional and state rights do not work. They'll make something up, which is evident because when I went into the court system, or I went into jail, the officer had to call around to see what they could charge me with. And he wrote it down verbatim. The second case that I'm talking about right now, I was resisting arrest. I was denied bail. They threw me in a cell for 26 hours, trying to find out what I was supposed to be arrested for. Best they could come up to was resisting arrest, and I never got arrested for anything. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be honest with you. I'm a Marine, Army. I retired back in 2009. No, so what was it? 2009? Yeah, 2009. Yeah, it was. From the Army, I joined the Marine Corps before. Fought in 2 wars. One was Desert Storm, and the next one was in Iraq. And then I went to Afghanistan. But I realized that what I was fighting for is not something that we actually receive here, or what civilians that I thought that I was fighting for your rights to be able to do these things, or be able to actually question your government. You weren't receiving. You weren't able to do these things. The second case that I'm explaining to you today is simple. by interrupting their meeting, or so to speak, and calling them on this, which they did not let the law pass because they were busted. They went through the book to see if they could find something on me. So they found that 4.5 years ago, somebody had arrested me and resisted arrest. But they knew they didn't have a case, so now they're not going to pursue it. They were not going to pursue it until something else happened. I was unaware. There was no warrant issued for 4 years on this incident. But case in point, it comes up whenever I piss off the government. So now you find yourself in court and you have to get an attorney. I have court fees right now. Still more to come up. I go to my attorney, I tell him what happened. He gets a report from whatever, from all the discovery. It says that I'm not going to win this case because the fact is that the thin blue line kicked in, and only 4 officers could actually fit into my living room and actually perform this incident. There were 7 others that were there that are all going to testify to these officers. This is what happened. We have officers on part of this group who have been questionable, lied about planting evidence, saying they smell marijuana and they don't smell marijuana, but they get to go in and search your car. It doesn't matter if it doesn't matter if you let them know I do not consent to any search or seizure, which is taught. You're going to get your car searched one way or the other. They will pull your ass out of that car because you have to roll down your window. I roll mine down halfway. Still doesn't matter. You got a choice to be made. If you don't get out of that car, they're going to shoot you, and they have a gun pointed at your head. I was also quoted as saying on the second incident when the cops came in, I saw a gun pointed at my head. I didn't know who. First thing I said, get that goddamn gun off of me. I'm not armed. I'm not doing nothing. I'm sitting down here in my line. I'm a lazy boy. They took that personal. I can't tell a cop to get his gun off of me that it's a threat. I have details of this case that you wouldn't even believe, and I can actually sit here all day and quote them to you, but the fact is that this is my last-ditch effort to get the word out. Because I see individuals like Lab and Stand Your Ground, and I see a lot of YouTube's Mexican Sex Tex Prez, PMP. I see you individuals trying to do the right thing. But I also have to remind you guys, you're in Texas. They play by different ball games down here. I'll also be the first ones to tell you that your videos have gotten out to local law enforcement in Southeast Texas, from Tyler all the way down to Houston. I know because I help spread your videos. Right now, your tactics that you're using, cops are actually training what to do when you get here to make sure that you go to jail. Ladies and gentlemen, there was a lady down here. She got arrested for some bullshit. That's not the point. They put her in jail. She was in there for 30 days. She hung herself in that jail. Nobody checked on her. Nobody. People came by. Officers came by and fed her. Only when the tray stacked up where she was and they realized she wasn't even, did they enter her cell and find out she committed suicide. Or they say. Every year we have at least 2 people die in Angelina County Jail. Or we have multiple complaints of cop and police abuse. But they all protect the cops because of the thin blue line. Because the court in here in Southeast Texas or in South Texas. You don't have a constitutional right, and you don't have state rights. What you have is individual county rights. You're supposed to know what you can do, what you can't do in there, and if you cross the line and you do something that pisses them off, they're going to find a reason to take you to jail. Now, I know that's a cool thing to do, or actually makes a statement, because you get exposure when you guys go to jail, especially you freedom fighters out there. But in this situation, or in this county and all the counties that you're getting ready to experience, they don't recognize these rights. They laugh at you for stating them. One officer told me, quote, "Well, you don't go by that shit down here." Now, I don't know if he will post this video again to somebody who can actually look and want to hear the details of this case. I don't know if you can or you can't. It's up to you. I go to court and I'm actually preparing a statement before I get sentenced, telling them the same things that I'm telling you. And this is a warning, like I said, to my freedom fighter friends, because the fact is that, you know what? I tried to get the word out to everybody that this was going on. I tried to get somebody just to mention or somebody to listen. I was unsuccessful. I failed because I couldn't get anybody to listen. Because once hearing the details of this case, it's unfathomable that you can even believe that this went on. But stating point, I can't get the word out. So not only myself, but there's other individuals who are going to be exposed to this type of treatment. Now, thinking about it is, it doesn't really happen from people here in our local town, which is Huntington, Texas. What happens is, it happens to the individuals coming from Houston and Dallas and Tyler, Fort Worth, Lufkin, because they've got to go through here. I can't tell you how many speeding stops that they have here. The speed trap here is unphenomenal. Let me tell you a little detail. I went and asked the officers at one point in time, I went and asked the actual chief of police, I said, "Hey, how do you calibrate your weapons?" His voice, he stated this: "Oh, we don't do it, the car automatically does it." This practice has been in place since 2014, all the way through the first part of 2017, until they said something. I became then a troublemaker. Because if you realize, and most of you do, that if you have an uncalibrated speed stop and it wasn't calibrated, well, guess what? You go free. Plus the contempt of court charges that the officer should actually face, because the fact is that he put a fake document in front of the judge. But then I digress. I'm not trying to explain to you guys the court of law. I'm not trying to tell, because you guys know it better than I do. What I'm telling you is that there's individuals like myself out there who want to do and support your cause. But when we do, we get arrested and the book gets thrown away and nobody listens. We are the silent majority of individuals in Southeast Texas and South Texas that there is no communication outside of this area. I can name you right now the rights that are actually being ignored by the county: the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, and actually the 14th. I bet you guys can think of some more. If you'd like to hear details of the case, I can send you an email. I'd be glad to. Maybe I could generate a call to maybe someone would answer the phone. Black Lab 3, somebody would answer the phone. I can tell this story, because if I tell this story, you guys are going to be floored. I've seen your videos. I've seen your videos to the point to where, you know what, they're right, and I know that they're right, but the fact is that I know that I'm right here, but when you hit South Texas and you hit Southeast Texas, this is what you're going to go through. This is what is going to hit you. If you bring an out-of-town, out-of-state lawyer down here, they love that shit because the judge will eat them up because they're not from here. There's a certain way of doing things here, and we do that. I hope and pray that I can get this message out. I hope and pray in my best efforts that people will share this with other people to actually show what's going on here and how people are being treated. People are being beaten in their own homes without a warrant. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, there was no warrant for them to come into the house. The mistake I made was my wife said, she was outside, they said, we just want to go and talk to him. She believed him, so she said, y'all going in, so I'm fucked there. But anyway, you can name the number of rights like I told you, and you know what, every one of them that you come up with, you can might as well just throw it out the fucking window because it doesn't work here. And I'm warning you that the more you deal in Texas, you're going to deal with governments like this. And it's a Freemason society, so the fact is that, I don't know if you're Freemason or not, but anyway, this is how we run our town. The brown shirts are out there. If you disagree with them or you voice your opinion or you ask a question, they take it out on you by law. They'll make shit up. Another thing, too, is the Freedom of Information Act that I used to get information because it wasn't readily available by anybody that I asked. 75% of them turned down. The one that amazes me is that the standard operating procedure for Angelina County Sheriff's Department, they won't release. Won't release it. Said it's not in the best interest of the public. This government here is probably the most corrupt government that you'll ever find out, and I know that everybody says that they're one that they're sponsoring or they've been doing a First Amendment audit on. That uses the worst, but I'm telling you, I've seen it from the inside out and I see what happens. And it's not pretty. Folks are being falsely accused of having drugs on them just so that the officer can get in their vehicle and find something. There was an individual who's never smoked marijuana in his life. He never done drugs. Going to college up here, came here to Huntsville to see his girlfriend and was heading back. They stopped him, said they smelled marijuana. Said, I don't smoke marijuana, I never have. So of course, you want to search the car? Sure. What are you going to find in there, a bottle? Come to find out, they arrested him for more than 2 ounces of marijuana that was planted. And now he's got to face the consequences. I had a friend of mine that spoke to him and said, man, how the hell? He said, you know what, shit? Knowing all this shit, I wish I would have fucking smoked dope. Wish I would have started smoking dope a long freaking time ago. Anyway, I digress. I can only put out the plea to share this, and people give me ideas of what you think and how I can actually beat this case. I'm not going to do jail time for this. That's not my point. The point is the principle. It's the fact is I was lied to. I was lied to by the United States government, by my state government, by every politician, by every law enforcement officer. What they told me to do, I did exactly, and I got arrested for it. It questions my ability to be a citizen anymore. When I see this system in place and I see it to be allowed, I don't want to be a citizen here no more. If I live in a state where they pull up by and show me your papers, that reminds me of something. If someone can come into your house, not identify themselves and beat the shit out of you, it's not what I was told. Could they do? And if you can go to jail for walking out of a door and saying, fuck you, that's bullshit. I didn't think that was what I was fighting for, neither. So I've taken down my flags of the state of Texas and actually America. Because I don't believe in those anymore whenever things like this can happen and nothing gets done about it. So I bring it to your attention to see what you can do with it, and I'll give you all the information you want. Need freedom of information. I got quote you links. But I'm gonna fall through the crack. I'll fall through the crack because the fact is that you know what? No one will listen. Nobody gives a shit about Angelina County and Podunk County down in fucking Texas. That lady that hung herself, she did. The boy they saw up there, 16 years old, got shot. Blamed on the cop. They will not pursue the paperwork to prove it. The shootout that we had in 2014 up here, a cop stopping somebody and said he had drugs, planted it on an individual, fall back and ended up shooting them cop in the back twice. These people matter here, and we're dying because of the system. That's how bad it's got. People are character assassinated. People are actually run out of town. They are actually being abused in such a manner by city councils, county commissioners, all these individuals in this county. And what's worse is that this is the way it fucking works all the way up to Dallas. And then all the way down the east. So I hope you share this video. I really do. I don't think it'll get any traction. I really don't. I put out a blast message that I hadn't unsubscribed from channels because basically it's because the fact is the thing what you were showing me on TV is not the world I live in. It's not the world I live in. It's not here where I live. Your actions are applauded. Your actions are awesome. But there's people out here like me that say, oh, we can't do that shit here. We don't have the ability to get a legal fund. We don't have the ability to pay for a lawyer. We don't have an ability to fight the system. That's not your fault. I'm just saying. This is what we deal with on a day-to-day basis. In closing, I'd like to say this is that I'm ashamed to be American. Never thought I'd say this, but I am. I'm not actually ashamed because it happened to me. I'm a Marine, I'm Army, I can take it. I can see what's wrong, and if I'm wrong and, or whatever, I'll take it. But what bothers me is it happened to people out here, to other people, and I didn't do nothing about it. Well, I tried. This is what I got for it. We have officers who stop ladies to get out of the ticket. They throw out the option of a blowjob. A lady was going home with her 2 kids at night after a soccer game. She got out of her car because somebody was following her. When she got up to her house, she got out and said, who the hell is this? What do you want? There's an officer had her put his light in her eyes. Told her to get back in the car. It was none of her business. But he followed her all the way home with his lights on. So, this is what we're dealing with here. I wish you guys luck on all your endeavors. I'm just letting you know that if you come up here, you come to Angelina County, or you come to any county up here in Southeast Texas, this is what you're going to experience. And this is the type of justice system that you're going to go through. Thank you for listening. But I'm ashamed to be American today. I took both my American flag down and my Texas state flag because what it represents to me, it doesn't represent that anymore. People will be mad. People will say, you should leave this country if you don't want to be here. Well, to be honest with you, I wish I could. I don't want to operate, or I do not want to live my life into a place to where I have no rights. They're written down that I should have, but they're not enforced. I don't know what else to think about that, so I don't fly my flag anymore. Because this is no longer my country. I issue a warning to you guys. I wish you all the luck. If you need to, if you're coming out of Lady County, anything, if you need to stay with me, or whatever the hell you need. I got a group of individuals who can't believe this, but they can't stand up because if they do, they're going to go to jail. And I told them not to. It's not worth the fucking hassle. These people don't have any money. They don't have enough money for an attorney. And imagine not having any money for an attorney and having your rights just stripped from it and you can't do nothing about it. And you have nobody on your side to help fight for you or give you ideas on how to approach this. This video was long, I'm sorry. Longer than what I thought I wanted it to be, but I was going to let you guys know that I just wanted to warn you guys and let you know. If you don't hear me from me a while, I'm pissed. And I'm very upset and I'm very hurt and let down. I thought, stupid thing, I thought that I could actually be a freedom fighter, that I could actually stand up for the system, I could do what you guys are doing to help the cause. I was wrong. I was wrong. I'll pay for it now because, not because I did anything wrong by the law, just because people don't like what I did. Standing up to them and asking questions. It's the only thing I'm guilty of. You guys be good, be safe out there, man. I'll leave the description, and I'll leave in the description box maybe a number you can call, get the scoop and get the real skinny from the county attorney, from the sheriff's department, from all these individuals that maybe you can make sure that you understand that this case is true. I hope anybody who wants to can write a description up in the description box. Just leave me a comment. But this man will go to jail because he believes in our system. And I'm going to pay for it. And I said no jail. I said no jail time. I'll just be on probation. Still, it's a fact of the matter. Anyway, I'm getting out of here now. You guys be good. Be safe. Keep your powder dry. Please. Share your information so you can warn other people. Because a lot of people don't have a group or anything that they can count on. They're doing this shit on their own. Hey, Steve. Keep your powder dry. I'm out.